Y'all talk more about Tank draw than Ryan Garcia lost to Rolly.
Roach winning, probably like 1 or 2 rounds.
By 1 or 2 rounds.
It was a close fight because Tank, I don't know, I think Tank just underestimated him. You know what I mean? And he was just looking for him to be himself and get a knockout. You know,
Right.
I always said Tank is losing until he's not losing.
Right.
And all his fights, when you watch him fight against Leo Santa Cruz, against
Rolly
Rolly, you know what I mean? Even
Right.
you know, Ryan was doing good the first couple of rounds.
So you think he
You know?
relies on the power too much?
I think he do. You know, he's losing until he's not losing. Now, he's smart. He'll walk you into some, you know, but I just think Roach was, you know, shit, he was like, man, I ain't
got
going for
nothing to
none
lose.
of
Let's
that.
go. Yeah.
You
So
know?
how do you think the rematch plays out?
I think you don't get a better Tank, but at the same time, I think Roach fought at his peak. You know, I don't think he can fight better than that.
But do you believe in the phrase when people say he got his number?
Yeah.
Do you think that's a real thing, and could it be possible
Yeah,
that
for
Roach
sure.
has his number?
Definitely. Roach can definitely have his number, but that don't mean that Tank will come in there fighting the same fight.
But what could he do different? Because when I watched the
he can
fight,
let his hands go more.
but I think
You know
at
what I mean?
times
He
did, and then he was being met and countered with answers back every time. So people are not used to seeing Tank in that space, because when he lands those shots, they usually end the fight, but they weren't hurting Roach.
But that's the thing. That's the mental game of it. You know, when he was hitting Roach or Roach was blocking, he'd hit doom with like 1 or 2 shots.
Right.
You know, you gotta start picking it up and throw
More
multiple
combinations, yeah.
What's up, Tell 'em gang? It's your boy 2 Counts, and I'm back with another boxing session. Yes, my boy Terence Crawford finally said some that mega love shit. I don't know. I think he just really feeling himself when he on this podcast with this All the Smoke podcast with these two guys, because they know a little bit more about boxing. He might be already got a relationship with them or something. So he was feeling himself. He was cracking a couple more jokes, shit like that, being his real true self, not being so political. And he dropped off that. You know, he talking like he said. That man said he was only get paid $10 million to fight Canelo. We know he lying about that. We know you getting 100, and Canelo getting 150, or he might get 70, or I think something like that, 70, 80 million. But he getting more than 10 for sure, for sure. But of course, he gonna say that because you know everybody been saying it's a money fight. It's a money fight. That's why Terence Crawford. No, he going for it. Now I'm starting to get worried for Canelo too, because Crawford's starting to gain confidence. When he gets confidence, I don't know. I'm starting to lean towards Crawford, but I'm gonna stay what I said with Canelo. I'm gonna stay what I said, because Canelo, I hear he over there training with Boots, and Boots is probably the best person you could train with as far as getting some sparring in to fight Terence Crawford, for sure. I digress. But my boy Terence Crawford finally talking some sense. I know him and Tank be back and forth, so he always saying stuff that he got to be on Shakur's side and stuff like that. But you know, he's finally gave it the real, because all y'all been throwing a lot of hate on a man who just got a draw. I'm glad he didn't lose like Ryan Garcia. Y'all talk more about Tank draw than Ryan Garcia lost to Rolly. And look, like I said, I always said Rolly was doing good in that fight against Tank, but I knew he wasn't gonna win. I seen it, you know what I'm saying? He was doing good, but he wasn't winning. Rolly can win rounds. Rolly can win fights because he keep the pressure up. He keep fighting. See, Tank has evolved in boxing to the point where he can do whatever the hell he want. Pretty much do whatever the hell he want. So that's what's going on with that. Now, like I said, we've seen the peak of Lamont Roach. I think Lamont Roach was fighting at the peak of his fighting level. I don't think he got another layer to go to. I think that second half of the fight, that was his layer. That was his Super Saiyan mode. You know what I'm saying? He went Super Saiyan mode in the second half of the fight, and I think that was his peak. And Tech was still able to keep up with his peak. So I don't think that in a rematch, I really don't see. I don't see Roach being able to do too much, because look, you gotta think about it. Gervonta Davis was really outboxing in the first half of the fight. He was winning the fight, outboxing and winning. To me, All he had to do was just add a couple more punches on it. He already outlanded them in body shots and then add 1 or 2 more. All you had to do, Gervonta literally got to do the same exact thing he did that first fight, literally, but just no knee, and he will win the fight. Literally the same exact thing, but no knee, he will win the fight. Y'all, he would have won. If that knee never happened, y'all would not have to say he lost that fight. Y'all would have been like, it was a good fight. Ooh, but he wouldn't say he lost that. My whole thing is when everybody try to compare Shakur and Keyshawn. Now, I know those will be good fights, but I just don't think Keyshawn and Tank is ready. Now, Devin and Tank is ready. Devin and Tank and Shakur is ready. Those fights is ready, and I'm glad that Terence Crawford came and gave the real like, hey, I think that was the pick we said to Lamont Roach. I think Tank can come back and make a lot of adjustments and win that fight, and it's the truth. I really think he can. It is what it is. Like, people don't want to talk about it, but it is what it is. Like, I know a lot of people hate Tank because of Mayweather. He accumulated a lot of that hate from Mayweather, but y'all still gotta look at the fights for what it is, man. Lamont Roach did good, but he didn't do enough to win. Like, I could see how you could say he won one round, but I got people saying, you tripping, man. He straight dominated Tank. Come on, bro. He did not dominate Tank. Tank kept the pressure up. Tank stayed in the pocket. Tank didn't run from him. Tank kept trying to win, kept trying to get the knockout. From a man who didn't even know what round it was, it's crazy. Think about if he knew what round it was 3-4 rounds before that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that they so comfortable with each other, familiar, like it was a sparring session in that, and they wasn't. It didn't feel right because everybody be thinking like, yeah, I know you in the big crowd, you fight for all these people in the big lights, but it's like, bro, you kind of get tunnel vision when you in that ring. You don't see the crowd, you don't see nobody. Everybody else, you tune all that out. You can hear them and all, but you tune that out because you into a fight, you got to focus on this man in front of you. Ain't nobody in there. All them people out there ain't in the ring with you. They can't help you. They can't save you. So you into the fight, you ain't, it is what it is. But man, that's what I'm seeing and come August. I'm feeling Lamont Roach. I don't want to say he gets stopped, but it do get real. It get real for Lamont Roach. I think that if Tank come out how he was coming out the first half, because when he come out the first half, he was wearing his ass out. Tank was wearing Lamont Roach out. He was tired, nose was puffy. You know what I'm saying? But then he caught that second win. I guess Tank let off the gas a little bit. He caught that second win. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it was. He lost. It is what it is. I mean, he ain't lose, but I mean, he ain't win. But I'm saying, I feel like they just woke him up. So if you could have got a lazy Tank and fought him, like if let's say Keyshawn had got that fight, they probably could have did better than Lamont Roach. It probably could have beat Tank if they had caught him at that time when he wasn't as focused. Now Tank's so focused and he see that this could happen to him. No, Keyshawn will get knocked out. Shakur will get knocked out. I do think Shakur is an excellent fighter though. The only way I think Shakur can win is he has to get away from Tank punches. He can't take them punches, and I just never seen Shakur take a punch. So I'm curious to how he take a Tank punch, how he get cracked by Tank, and how he get up, how he react, what he do. Do he start running on the back foot just to finish the fight? You know what I'm saying? We know Devin can do that for 12, but we don't want to see those type of fights. That's why Tank don't want to fight them. Tank needs somebody who's gonna be throwing punches at him. Shakur don't throw punches. Tank is a counter puncher, inside pocket punch. You know what I'm saying? Like that's his style of fighting. People don't understand boxing, bro. But that's why y'all got 2 times telling so I can tell y'all what y'all looking at, because y'all don't know what y'all looking at. Y'all just don't know what y'all looking at. But I'm gonna tell y'all this. Terence Crawford built his confidence. He built his confidence against Canelo. I could see it. Interview by interview, his confidence is getting wide. He doing a lot of interviews. Y'all, everybody know who Canelo is, but y'all need to know who Terence Crawford is, and that's why he doing all these podcasts and all these interviews, because y'all need to know. And Lamont Roach, I just hope he in the gym, because you gotta think about it. Tank already hit his peak, so his ass been done stopped, and you know what I'm saying. He been he ain't been stopped, but he been not in the gym every day. Like Tank no play, probably go run every now and then, but he not in the gym every day like a Lamont Roach. All these upcoming fighters, they're in the gym every day, boots in the gym every day. You stay in the gym for these fights because you never know when it's your time. and you want to be as sharp as you can, it's like you still training until you get your big blow up. See, Tank, Ryan, all them guys, they already in silk pajamas. They not working out every day. They not, you know what I'm saying? They not in that mode every day. So Lamont Roach was hungry. Now he getting these calls. Come here. Oh, this Lamont Roach. We put him on a jumbo pram. Chug the beer. So his lost a little focus. Now, it's, once he get to the next two fights, let's say he do beat Tank. Is he gonna be the same Lamont Roach after he beat Tank? Because man, the money gonna change. The fan gonna change. Everything gonna change. So I mean, it is what it is. Like I told y'all in the other videos, y'all said I was reaching. Y'all said I was reaching. Y'all said Lamont Roach gonna come and do better. He got his number. If he had his number, why he ain't use it? If he had his card, why he ain't pull it? He ain't pull it, bro. Y'all keep on saying that Tank was losing. He was frustrated. He was getting hurt. He got hit with a good shot. Cool. He might have underestimated him. Cool. Terence Crawford said it best. But at the same time, bro, he didn't have to fight that type of fight. Definitely didn't have to fight that type of fight, man. I'm trying to get y'all to see that. Like, he could have waited. He could have he could have did what Ryan did. It was a lot of different shit that Tank could have did and made that fight way different. We still talking about that fight because of the way he fought. So y'all need to give that man a little respect as far as it. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. But that's why Tank is the face of boxing. Ryan not the face of the boxing. Sorry, bro. Sorry, bro. He just not. I don't know what was wrong with him. You see, he got the excuse with his hand. But Tank didn't have to fight him like they could have been like, man, it's this fight. Let me just box him. Let me stay on the outside. Let me do this. Let me just win. Let me just secure the bag to get to my next fight with Jake, which is what y'all said he was doing. He was just securing his bag for Jake. He didn't want to mess that up. So why he just didn't play with Lamont Roach and go get a 12-round decision and then let Lamont Roach be the first person he knocked out a long time, that still would have put Lamont Roach up and stardom. He still would have did the same thing. Like, it's so many different stories, bro. Y'all just don't. Y'all just gotta come up with one. Y'all gotta make your mind up on what you want to say. I gotta make a matter of what you want to say, because Tank did not have to fight Lamont Roach like that. But he proceeded to, because he know y'all came to see who? Gervonta Davis knock a nigga out. Let me get the knockout for my fans. But what y'all do at the end of the boom, he tell y'all, man, he got a little grease in his eyes while he took the knee. And I'm telling y'all, I know y'all don't think that y'all saying that the knee wasn't counted and all that, but I think the knee was counted. I think that the last 3 rounds wasn't definitive enough from Lamont Roach for y'all to say he won those last 3-4 rounds after the knee. After the knee, they just gave him all them rounds. Why? Because he's like, oh yeah, knee. Did that hurt him? So now the refs looking at the fight different. Just like, you know what? Perfect example. Just like with Terence Crawford and Errol Spence. You remember how when Errol Spence started to get back in his rhythm a little bit, and then a doctor came up in a fight out of nowhere, like checking him out, this like the 3rd or 4th round. He got dropped in the second. He didn't get dropped again to like the 5th or the 6th, but he got dropped. He got dropped in the first. He was good. He started to get back in a rhythm on Crawford. This is like around 3rd, 4th round, and then the doctor came in and checking him out. And Errol like, what the fuck? Yeah, I'm good. Come on, man. That's mental. That fuck with your man. Like, damn, y'all think I'm losing that bad? You got a doctor come and check in on me? Like, what the fuck? Like, that's mental, bro. Like, it throw you off. It make you do shit you wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of shit that I didn't like. I did not like that in the fight, and I didn't see why I did it at that point. Like, you should have did that later in the fight or earlier in the fight, but not at the time that you did it in the fight. It didn't make sense. So it just threw me off, and that's what I'm saying. Like, shit like that happened in the fight. And I just feel like Lamont. And other things, I just feel like Tank didn't hate Lamont Roach enough. He didn't hate him enough. He talked about his mama. But I think in this next fight, I think all of them gloves gonna be off because Lamont Roach making himself a op. He making himself a op. He definitely making himself a op. So that's on him. You know, Gervonta got to really like not like your ass, and then I ain't saying like that's where he get it from, but I think that helped him. Like, now I think it's to the point to where he feel like, oh, you trying to take food off my plate, you trying to hold me, like you trying to say I'm not who I am. I say I am, and you got what I'm saying. Like, you got to think Gervonta Davis really come from the slums, from the gutter, his foster home, shit like that. Y'all don't get that because I ain't saying I've been in a foster home. I had mom and my daddy at the crib, but it's hard to be a person like that, bro, who been through so much. I mean, I get some people trying to take shit away from him, fighting for everything. It's hard to be somebody like that. Yeah, the man know his mama, but he still been through what he been through. He remember that type of shit. He remember not being accepted. He remember motherfuckers not believing in him. He remember that type of shit. So this type of performance and the way people acting, that's just gonna fuel him. Like, okay, y'all trying to take, Because at this point, y'all trying to take it. I feel like to Gervonta Davis finna beat the fuck out of Lamont Roach in August. We're gonna get a Shakur fight. Even if we get Jake, whatever. We got 2 good Lamont Roach's fights. We might get a Jake, and I think we will get a Shakur early next year or the end of this year. We will get a Shakur. But the Gervonta really talking about retiring, man. Let that man retire, man. I mean, like, man. Like, I understand, bro. Don't nobody want to be training for the rest of their life. Like, I'm over it. He feel like he did what he wanted to do in the sport. I come back and do some expeditions and shit like that. But why do I gotta compete at the highest level? It's always gonna be somebody else for him to fight. Always gonna be somebody else for him to fight. Abdullah Mason coming out. Let's say he beat Shakur and Keyshawn. Then y'all gonna be like, now you gotta fight Abdullah. Now you gotta fight Kid Austin. Now you gotta fight Muratalla. Now we need to see you fight Zepeda. Now we need to, it's just never gonna stop. It's always somebody else y'all gonna say he gonna fight or he didn't beat. It's always gonna be criticism. But that's why I do want to see him beat Shakur, and I do want to see him beat Keyshawn, because at least y'all can't hold that against his head, because Devin did get away. I wish he did fight Devin for undisputed just to beat just so he could be undisputed at 135, and that just would have made it all worth it. It would have made it all worth it for me. I ain't gonna even lie. But yeah, man. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section, bro. I'm telling y'all right now, been telling y'all that was the peak of Lamont Roach. Gervonta Davis will win the rematch. That was the peak. Gervonta Davis, know what he got to do. All he got to do is the same thing, but a little bit better, and not even. He can just really do the same thing. He's going to post. Lamont Roach is not going to take no extra chances because he's scared to take those extra chances. Who was taking all the extra chances in the fight? Gervonta Davis. So more of the same will come in a rematch. It's your boy 2 Times Tell him, and I'm out.